Good evening, guys. Today I'm going to start discussing with you on anger, negative emotions, and what happens to our body and our immune system during this process. What I'm going to cover is a little bit of the reference to neuroscience, neuroscientific areas that I'm going to start discussing with you. Just to give you an overview of what happens, what kind of hormonal changes happens in our body. Aristotle once said, "It is easier to be angry, but to be angry at the right person, for the right reason, at the right time, with the right degree is the most difficult task." What I'm referring here is to the fact that when we get angry, we display negative emotions. And those negative emotions, uh, is the anger really coming from the person that we are getting angry to? Certain times our anger stems from something else. It is not exactly coming from who we are showing our anger to at that moment. Um, Maybe we have a stress coming from our office and we come home and we start yelling at our children. That really creates a negative environment in the house, and maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the household that we are living in, we had a fight with our brothers, with our wife, with our parents, and we go back to work and we reflect the same kind of behavior. So, what I would like you to start looking at is where your anger is coming from. Certain times it does stem from our past, what has happened in the past, and that past that we carry with us in our hearts, and we reflect a lot of anger with that past. I'm not going to surface your anger reasons, but what I'm going to start telling you is what happens when we experience negative emotions. Have you ever thought that when you get angry, your hands start to feel that they are loosen up? You can hit someone, you can break something very easily, and it's like an energy that flows into your body. Why does this thing happen? Why do we have such kind of energy coming in and flowing in, and why our hands and your arms get loosened up, and where do they get so much of power to hit someone with so much of strength? So I'm going to start covering with you something called fight and flight mode. This was given to us historically when we were in dinosaur era, or we had big animals and we had to fight with them. In that time, we used to experience this fight and flight mode. Whenever you experience anything like negative emotions, there are three types of nervous system in your body, out of which I'm going to cover two in this particular video. One is known as sympathetic nervous system. This sympathetic nervous system is basically a system which pumps three types of hormones in your body within 48 milliseconds. That means that the moment I start to think of someone who makes me angry, makes me upset, or I watch a drama, or I watch anything that has a tendency to upset me, this triggers within 48 milliseconds. Fight and flight mode triggers. When you get angry, when you get anxious, the same fight and flight mode actually functions. This sympathetic nervous system triggers and pumps three types of hormones in your body. One is called epinephrine, the second one is called norepinephrine, and third one is known as cortisol. Your epinephrine has the tendency to draw blood from your arteries, your capillaries. Your capillaries are what you see is on your face, redness on your face, redness on your ears, redness in your palms. These are your capillaries. Epinephrine, when it enters in your bloodstream, it starts to draw blood from all over your body and starts to pump into your larger muscles. Your larger muscles are your arm muscles. These are your arm muscles, or your thigh muscles. Thigh muscles means that it is a fight mode where you can fight with anything that is in front of you, and or you can run away. That is your flight mode. These are the two modes that are triggered. Now, fight and flight modes are good when we have some situation which we want to fight with, or it is in front of us. We have something that we puts us into danger. Our fight and flight mode triggers. Now, having said this, it also has a tendency to draw blood from different parts, including part of your brains. When your brain responds to this, and when the blood is drawn from your brain, actually it's your brain goes into alarm because it wants to survive. It wants oxygen. It wants blood. So it goes into alarm, and it starts to shut down your non-essential functions. And one of the functions that it shuts down is your immune system. With that, epinephrine has the tendency to slow down your vagus nerve, which actually controls your heartbeat. So your heartbeat starts to slow down, and your blood flows into your stomach. During this stress, during anger, during stressful episodes, you must have felt that it is very difficult to sleep at night. You are very hypertensive at that moment. Your stomach gets upset. You don't like to eat, or you eat a lot. You don't sleep or sleep a lot. It's both the effects that starts to happen. It's because of the blood that is flowing into your stomach. And most of the time when people have this kind of tendency of negative emotions, they run into diseases. So in 48 milliseconds, your brain starts to respond to that, and your non-essential functions start to shut down. One of the functions it starts to shut down, your brain starts to shut down, is your immune system. And in that immune system, you are more prone to diseases. The first thing that you get into is your infectious diseases, which really hampers your body. So the first thing that your body gets is the flu, the infectious diseases. You get fever, you get cough, cold, all these kind of things that starts to happen to you. With that, since your stomach is not responding well, you run into type 2 diabetes. That starts to happen. Certain people will start to experience ulcers. There are three categories of cancer. Epinephrine is the culprit behind your headaches, your heart attacks, your strokes, your sleeping disorders, your GI diseases, and there are so many diseases that you get into when you are into chronic of this. So epinephrine has a tendency to draw blood from your brain, from your capillaries, and it starts to push that blood into your larger muscles. Norepinephrine is the one who pushes the blood into your larger muscles. So norepinephrine is one which is pushing it. Epinephrine is the cause for heart attacks. It is basically the same reason that we have. The last time I was conducting a training for an institution which is a heart institution, and I was talking to a lot of physicians, and I told them exactly the same thing, and they started discussing that yes, we have seen heavy amounts of epinephrine for people who come in with heart attacks. They have strokes with the same tendencies and same things. So this is something that is there. It is medically proven now. Cortisol has a tendency to turn your glucose into your energy. That's why we get so energetic during those episodes. So anger causes a lot of things. Your negative emotions causes a lot of things. It is a sympathetic nervous system. Now, the thing that I would like you to start thinking, how much time do you spend in negative emotions, backbiting, talking about other people, talking about negative things, complaining, all these kind of things? And how much time do you spend in positivity, where you are saying that I have a wonderful life, I have a wonderful family, I'm thankful to God, and you are content with what you have? So how much time do you spend into this sympathetic? Now, remember, when you turn into sympathetic, there is something called mirror neurons in your brain, and that actually transfers into other people. We have a tendency to mimic. If you see somebody watching a movie or a drama, soap ops, and all these kind of things, you would see them, their facial expression changes with what is coming on the screen on television sets. And this is a tendency that we have. We like to mimic, and we have mirror neurons which helps us to mimic other people. So when we are emitting negative energy in the house or in the work environment, actually we are making everybody negative because it is a natural phenomena. This is your Wi-Fi system that has been rated as Wi-Fi system. So other people start to pick it up. These are the things that I would like you to start thinking. Now, what is the counter for this? How can we overcome that? To overcome this, there is another autonomous system in our body which is known as parasympathetic nervous system, which balances out your sympathetic. It is your repair system. And that repair system is triggered with certain things that we do in our life. Now, remember, your parasympathetic nervous system has the power to repair. Parasympathetic nervous system, out of all the researches that has been done throughout the world, number one counter which can help you revert this sympathetic effects is prayers. When we pray, we are actually going into parasympathetic. Now, prayer has one catch. Remember, something that you need to remember when we pray. Our prayer is automatic. It is automized. So we are on autopilot. So when we are praying, but at that moment, we are not thinking about our loving God. What we start to think about is our problems. So what I would like you to do is when you pray, I would like you to think about God and nothing else comes into your mind. That's where you run into parasympathetic. That is where your repair system starts to work. Your second best solution for this, for sympathetic to overcome, is your meditation. There are two things that I normally suggest to my participants to do. Number one is mindfulness. It's an excellent exercise. Your mind starts to control your body and it starts to control your thoughts. So you push away your negative thoughts and you start to rewire your brain by letting positive thoughts in. So mindfulness helps you to be present, at present, be peaceful, and push away all the negative thoughts and start to adopt positive feelings and positive thoughts. You'll find lots of videos on YouTube that actually teaches you how to have guided mindfulness, and that will help. The second meditation is your yoga. It is a combination of exercise, and with exercise you get peaceful in a peaceful environment where your senses are working and you are taking in a lot of true energy. When you breathe in and breathe out, remember, not air conditioned breathing. Breathing has to be natural oxygen that you need to take in. Your morning oxygen is the best oxygen that you can take in. Breathe in and breathe out. When you breathe in and breathe out and you do these exercises, you're actually making yourself peaceful. So all your anger, all your negative energies are taken out and you start to work on positive. So number one is prayers. Number two is your meditation. Number three, the highest rated that has health effects, is your spending time with your family. So my question to you is, when you're with your family, are you with your families? Or you're still checking your mobile phones, or you're still worried about certain things, or you're still worried about work, or you're thinking about something else? We are talking about quality time with your families. When you spend time with your families, remember, you have to be present at that time. Put away your mobile phones. Give it a rest. Give yourself a rest and spend time with your family. That is the best thing that you can do. Spending time with your kids. And a lot of researchers refer to smiles and laughter as one of the therapies that we use. When you smile, you tend to push away cortisol levels or stress hormones in your bloodstream, and you tend to bring in more of happiness hormones in your body. Chocolates has a pleasure effect. So when people eat chocolates, they enjoy chocolates, right? And then the chocolate has this pleasure effect that it gives. Your smile, comparatively to eating chocolates without the caloric cost, research has shown that one smile is equal to 2,000 bars of chocolates. Now this is amazing, 2,000 bars of chocolates, and there is no calories. Remember, so keep smiling. Smile is the best thing. And when you are with your children, remember, children smile more than 400 times per day. So they make you smile. You spend time with your friends and talk to them, talk to your family members, talk to people who make you positive, give you positive vibes, and spend time with your family members who make you smile. That will be the greatest thing that you can have. That is the third parasympathetic that you can trigger. You can also exercise, and what by exercise what I mean is not the weightlifting type or martial arts type. It is more of a relaxation that you can have, and that will give you a lot of peace. One incident of sympathetic is countered by at least three of parasympathetic. That means that repair system needs to be triggered three times rather than sympathetic nervous system. So your sympathetic will help, your parasympathetic will help you counter that sympathetic. Now, if you are spending a lot of your time in chronic stress, to come out of this stress, you need to start spending time in parasympathetic. A lot of participants that I talk to and who have been stressful and go into depression, when they come out of depression, they rely a lot on religious, thoughts, a lot refer to God, and this is what I would like you to do: is start referring to a lot of these kind of things that will give you peace. So your anger is countered by 1:3 is the ratio. One incident of negative thoughts, negative emotions will be countered by 3 positive or 3 parasympathetic. In a close relationship, what I mean by close relationship, with your spouse or with your siblings, if you are very close to them, if any negative incidents happen, you have to repair that relationship by 1:5 ratio. That means in a close relationship. In work environment is 1:3, 1:3, and in home with close relationship is 1:5. Your repair system requires more time than the destructive system, so you'll have to repair it. So this will be my advice for this particular video. Your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Please spend time in your parasympathetic. That will keep you healthy. It will bring you out of a lot of negativity, your health issues. A lot of your health issues would be there. In COVID-19 as well, it will help you to increase your immune system. When you are actually into parasympathetic, you wouldn't believe, your vision increases, your power of cognition, making decision increases, your innovation increases. You release certain hormones like oxytocin and vasopressin are some of the hormones that are there. You do your best when you're positive, in your positive emotional state. So please try to practice this and try to be peaceful as much as possible.